We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Hits with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Oh, and wait, John's here. Don't worry, everybody. John is here, but I'll tell you what. I got to tell you, we've already got the Bermas Brigade in there with some brilliant commentary. Are you ready for this one? If Elon Musk has Neuralink and uploads Bruce Lee's consciousness, he could win, John. I mean... The dark cartoon is real. This one's not a money grab. There's no money to be made. I would honestly think that this is actually a narrative grab to show you that billionaires are cool too. But from
They're
what
trying to humanize themselves 100%. 100%.
I mean,
Zuckerberg, like doing regular people stuff, 100%. He's trying to not be hated by everyone. Like he wants everyone to forget. You spy on people, you work for the government, you have rigged elections by censoring information, and you've done experimentation on people without them knowing it, emotional experiments on people without them knowing it. You're kind of an evil person. Kind of an evil person. Kind of really shitty human being, honestly. But I will say, I'm a little impressed that he got choked out. He got choked unconscious.
he didn't tap?
He didn't tap. He went out once.
Really?
That's the word. That's the story. He went out.
I said it from the very... Listen, first of all, I didn't realize how what the stats were. And just so everybody knows, we'll be talking about other stuff. I've got other news stories up there. I briefly talked about this morning. But how could we not talk about this after Dana White says he was contacted by both of them saying it was for real? And they really want it to happen. Like, I was thinking, Musk...
It's bread and circus, man. It's more bread and circus crap, honestly. We got so many problems and so many things that need to be fixed and rectified. The UFC's a mess itself. Like, we're trying to get Mark Wayne Mullen to reintroduce the Ali Act, but he's not doing it. I don't know what's going on. It's very disappointing. He said he was going to reintroduce it months ago. I saw him at NCAA's with Trump. I don't know what's the holdup. I don't know why he's screwing us over like this. I don't know why the government doesn't give a crap about fighters and doesn't care that we're independent contractors and we're being exploited. I don't get it. But, yeah, it's just more bread and circus. Distractions. I got homeless people, walking through the neighborhood, they're stealing packages. I can't let my kids play outside by themselves. Like, I can't leave stuff in your car. You got to be careful where you're parking. Everybody in our street now has the club in their thing. Like, that's from the 90s, the club, because people are stealing cars all the time. And I live in a nice neighborhood, 5-minute walk from a Catholic church.
Let's stop for a second.
They're going to put on this shit show to distract people. And we're dealing with like real problems out here. I don't know, man. I've been really wound up lately because stuff getting disgusting.
Well, let's talk about it because we've been doing this year. I mean, it's hard to believe, Fitch, but I think we've been doing the show more than 4 years now, right around that 4-year mark, because we did it about a year before COVID kicked off, right? Yeah. when you moved and you had just moved into this new spot, you bought the house. You know, you were in a pretty damn good neighborhood. These things were not something we were discussing 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was it was very nice neighborhood, very clean. We had no homeless anywhere. My girlfriend, we've been together about almost a couple years, almost 2.5, like pretty close. But when she first started coming up and we started dating, we would go on long walks, and we would go, past the school and towards kind of where the mall is, and there's a big pond and lake, and there's a lot of nice it's nice trail and stuff. It's nice. It's pretty. It's a fun walk. And it's like 3 miles, 4 miles. And now we went, a few months ago. Actually, it was like when my parents came. It might have been, 6 months ago or something like that. So it's probably even worse now. But we took them on the same walk because like, oh, this will be a nice walk. They'll enjoy it. They'll see, some of where I live and whatever. And it was just homeless encampments, needles, garbage, fast food stuff, plastic, masks everywhere in the trees and the bushes, like freaking everywhere. It was gross. It was disgusting. I was embarrassed to show my parents this stuff. I was like, man, my parents are gonna feel bad about where I live now.
Bro, first of all, I'll say this. Like, I've been in my spot now. It's 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years in October, right? I haven't seen it be overwhelming, but I would say a good estimate is, are your medians clean? In other words, when you have homeless people in your medians with the signs all over, things start to get worse and worse. And over the last, I'd say 6 months to a year now, there's not a main median that does not have either a couple or a woman out there in one of these large signs. And look, I'm not being a bigot here, guys. I just want everybody to know they're never white. All right. And I'm not saying they're black either, because they're not. They're usually, sometimes they're Hispanic, sometimes they're Indian, sometimes it seems like they could even be from Africa. All I'm saying is they're migrants. They're illegal immigrants. And, some of them speak English well, some of them don't. I'm in middle America. Yeah, we're a satellite city of Chicago, and a lot of these people are probably being dropped off in Illinois. But again, I've never seen it like this. And now the last 6 to 12 months, it's gotten out of control. And it's escalated now that it's the summertime. And the worst is when they bring their children with them. Okay? And like when you see a toddler out there in the heat, I mean, it's by 9 or 10 in the morning, it's 85, 90 degrees.
We have people that approach you in parking lots, and they'll be carrying their baby.
It's very tough. Like when I see babies, that's when it gets hard for me.
It's bad enough. Like I can't stand the homeless people and the dogs.
Oh, dude.
Like the dogs are all mangy and gross, and they're suffering. Like, why is that legal? I don't know. It's animal abuse. It is animal abuse. You can't take care of yourself, let alone something else. Like, it should be illegal for a homeless person. I'm sorry. It should be illegal for a homeless person to have an animal. It's animal abuse. There's no reason for that animal. The animal's better off being euthanized than it is on the street suffering like that. You got 95-degree weather, no water. The dogs are they look like they're going to die on the sidewalk, and the guy's holding a sign trying to get money from you.
You're in a much worse area than me, but hey, don't worry. Your governor's probably going to be president in 18 months somehow. They're probably going to scam that one.
And then, like, we have an HOA, right? And the HOA meets with city people, city council, and whatever people. So they had their top person come out, and the only thing she had to offer was, well, being homeless isn't illegal.
You know what? I'm getting a question in my thing. Being homeless is, well, here's the deal. Right now, our social service is total mess.
Being homeless isn't illegal, but littering is. We're in California, so if you have open fire places, that's illegal. That's a fire hazard. You can start forest fires and other things. That's illegal. A lot of these people are sexual predators, right? They're on the list. They're on the list of sexual predators. And I live 5 minutes from a school and a church. You're telling me that these people are allowed to be this close to a school and a church? That's got to be illegal.
I just got the question about the kids.
To do anything about it.
Like, where would the kids go? And all I'm going to say about that is that sometimes I see them with the kids, sometimes I see them without the kids. And like I said, sometimes I see couples, sometimes I don't. But what I am saying is if the husband's not working and the wife or girlfriend is out there, he should have the kid at wherever they're staying. Because it's not like they're out on the street in encampments like John's. I'll say that. We don't have that issue here in Iowa. A lot of them get put up in the extended stay home slash hotels. They get that deal here. Listen, our streets aren't littered. I'll say that. I still am going on nice dog walks in a nice area, in a nice park, and it's not encampments, and it's actually gorgeous. Everybody can now watch me again. I took my youngest sister's dog, so now I'm back doing the walk and talks with the dog, and it's gorgeous. I'm just saying, I didn't even see that in my medians and highways, but now that's a normal thing. You know what I mean? And we don't have catch and release here, but you know where they do have catch and release? Illinois, which is a 3-minute drive from me. So that is an issue. Like you said, all of a sudden, it's the club, right? The club back in your car. It's, I can't walk in the park. That's bad news, Brown. That doesn't end.
Everybody's buying security ring cameras and stuff too, because people are jumping fences. There's an app called Nextdoor, and a lot of people use it out here because it connects you to your neighborhood and people around your neighborhood. So like people post crimes, and they have pictures and videos from their cameras from their doors and backyards and stuff. And people, so they're posting, hey, watch out for this guy, watch out for that guy. I had to physically throw a homeless guy who was chasing one of my neighbors out of the neighborhood a few weeks ago because he was on video stealing packages, and then he got confronted with a package in his backpack, and he started freaking out and chased the guy down. But the police won't do a goddamn thing about it. And then if you defend yourself and you fight back and you do something, you're in trouble.
Dude, California's the craziest. And you had Gavin Newsom out there on his little PR tour the last 2 weeks saying it's disgraceful, John. It's disgraceful. But it's really it's a remnant of the Trump administration and their policies. That's literally what they say when they sit down with these people. Gavin Newsom, hold on. Well, we're gonna bring it up. Let's hear what your boy said. Gavin Newsom, shameful, homeless. Let's see. Here it is right here. Admits. This is on the 13th. Here we go. We'll bring it right up for everybody. It's a disgrace. Gavin Newsom admits California homeless situation is out of control, but blames Republicans. Despite being in power for 4 years, during which vagrancy has risen 13%. So the guy literally, let's see, I don't want to watch this whole.
I'm sorry, these jackasses, they really rely on people being stupid, because the president has nothing to do with local law enforcement. It has nothing to do with who's the president. The president has absolutely zero to do with what your local DAs and police are doing. That's a state and city issue. The fact that he would even say that should automatically be a red flag to people. But I guarantee the cult of the left will not care.
No, they're going to put him in as the president, man. I truly predict this is the guy. They're going to find a way to get this guy in here and not allow a guy like RFK Jr. to even debate, right?
RFK Jr. is a phony.
You don't like him, huh?
He's a phony. No, he's a phony.
Let's hear it.
He was pushing all the vaccines.
Whoa! We're on YouTube.
His freaking wife is telling people they have to get the boo-boo to go to their party.
Yeah.
And like you can't even hold down your household, and you're gonna be a president? Get the hell out of here! You're a piece of crap.
Fitch is fired up.
Stand up. This guy is an idiot. You're an idiot if you're believing this RFK Jr. piece of crap has anything to do with goodness. He's fooling you. Wake up. He said one or two mean things about an idiot. Oh, wow. That doesn't erase all the other horrible things he's done throughout his and his entire family's career in life. Get out of here.
So who you got,
Get
Eddie?
these people out of here. Get rid of all the Kennedys. Get rid of all the holdovers from old people. Get them out. Get them gone. We need them gone.
Did you see Matt Gaetz with Durham yesterday?
Yes.
We actually played that today. I mean, he only got 5 minutes with him, right? And that's really the crime, is that the guy that's going to actually call out. And listen, again, I've had my issues with.
There's no accountability. There's absolutely zero accountability. We cannot hold any of our elected officials or any of these people in any of these courts or whatever the crap. We have zero recourse in holding them accountable for screwing up or screwing us over or breaking the law. Well, I'm sorry, man. We're very close. I feel like we got to be close to an American Revolution again or something, because this is gross. I've been watching the Netflix documentary of the hostage crisis.
Of the Israeli one?
77.
So yeah, you're
with
talking about
Iran.
the Olympic one?
Uh,
Wait,
it was
you're talking
no,
about
no,
the
it was
Iran
the embassy.
you're talking about the Iran hostage.
Embassy.
What's that?
The Iran embassy.
Yes, you're talking about the Iran
student-led one.
Yes, you're talking about the Iran hostage crisis. I see. I have no idea, but like, a lot of people feel like George Bush Sr. was running that behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like, you watch that stuff. Who was his name? Who was the president at the time? Carter.
Yes.
He was a puppet.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything. He didn't make any decisions.
No, it was Zbigniew Brzezinski was making most of the decisions behind the scenes. Brzezinski was kind of like the emissaries, like a Kissinger was as well.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Kissinger was a big part of all that too. Kissinger was a player in all that.
Yes, of course he was. like again, from
evil
Peter
human
to
being, absolutely evil human being.
dude, I have this great quote from Kissinger. Let's see if we can bring it up. I had it up for my show. Let me see
Something about bombing Cambodian children or something.
Here it is right here. You're gonna love it. All right, we're gonna bring it up, and we can probably read most of it right there. If I do that, we can read all of it. Perfect. Okay, so this is a quote from Kissinger that was achieved through the FOIA Act at a meeting, okay, with the Foreign Minister's office in Turkey. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. McComber tells him what they're doing is illegal. He goes, that is illegal. Kissinger says, before the Freedom of Information Act, I used to say at meetings, the illegal we do immediately, the unconstitutional takes a little longer. And then they laughed, ha ha ha. But since the Freedom of Information Act, I'm afraid to say things like that.
Mm-hmm. No, man, I've been reading a book about the Civil War, and well, it's not just the Civil War. It touches briefly on it, but it's like the untold history of the U.S. whatever. And it just talks about how we lost the Constitution with Hamilton and some of the things he put in at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Like we lost the country then. Like he duped Washington into allowing like the public works stuff, which was like loosely phrased so they could just throw anything into it. Like we lost the country then, and everything has snowballed since.
Well, why do you think that play was all about? That big popular musical is Hamilton. Hamilton.
Yeah, they're trying to prop up the biggest piece of crap in American history.
Well, again,
like all the problems that we have today in government, all of the imperialism, all that crap, all the government doing and making decisions against our will, that's all on Hamilton's shoulders. Piece of crap.
Well, they also demonize a guy.
Go back in time and eliminate somebody, he'd be my choice.
Well, dude, I think first of all, I look at it this way.
Because the first draft of the Constitution was amazing, but he bombarded and sweet talked Washington into allowing a couple phrases in there that were very obscure and allowed them just to do whatever they wanted to after that.
It's been a slow erosion. But again, like I said, they demonize people like Andrew Jackson, for instance, who was, whether you like him or not, because of his policies with the Native Americans and how he treated them, he was a populist. He was for the quote-unquote little person. He'd duel you. Like, he had people come to the White House for the dinners. He was one of those guys that they would like to erase from history or demonize. Jefferson is another one, because Jefferson really pulled for the Constitution to include the rights being endowed by your creator. He didn't want rights that were granted by the government or the state or a piece of paper. He wanted the piece of paper to say that you were endowed with your individual God-given rights, and you had the ability to worship that God, that creator, in any said way that you would like. That's a big, important thing, and through this agenda of trusting the science or the Yuval Noah Harari nonsense, there is no God. Science is the God, and AI is the new God, and AI is going to write the new religions. I believe we went over that a couple weeks ago. John, check this out. This is literally the Bilderberg 2023 meeting coming into fruition, not being discussed, okay? But really, again, a big deal. Europe's best-selling newspaper is cutting jobs and looking ahead to AI. Axel Springer. So that's the Matthias Döpfner outfit. And by the way, just so everybody knows, it's not just Europe. These people own Politico, and they own Insider in the United States. Okay, I think they said that they had 1,000 jobs between all of their employees. 20% of those are now gone. Okay, so now they're down to 800, and they're bringing AI in to not only write the stories, but it's getting good enough where it's going to be doing the digital layouts of any websites or print. 100% AI driven, Fitch. And again, AI was big in Bilderberg. Döpfner was there with his media group, and now you're seeing the implementation of it through ChatGPT and other programs. And Döpfner is the one that's cited here. So again, the mainstream media ain't telling you about Bilderberg 2023. They ain't telling you that the news is about to be AI driven, and you can't question the news because it's authoritative without going too far. Because again,
and a big thing about the news people need to understand now too is that it's not about telling you what happened anymore. Now they tell you how to feel about what happened. That's the whole point of all of the news that's out there today. All the mainstream news. It has nothing to do with informing you. It's about telling you how to feel about what's going on.
Well, if you look at, I would say, this narrative management and the Hotez situation, we got to be careful. Again, we're on YouTube. But all these establishment figures and all these mainstream outlets come to Hotez's side and says, don't go debate on Joe Rogan. You're too smart. You're the authority. You're just going to elevate the quote-unquote conspiracy theorists. So now nothing can ever be questioned.
That's an argument from somebody who knows that they're lying and wrong, right? The only way to come to truth is to discuss it, debate. That's it. We know this from the Greeks. This is age-old knowledge. It hasn't changed. The only way to come to the bottom of truth is through conversation and talking about it. Like looking at all sides, hearing all opinions, and making decisions there. Anybody who is trying to limit speech is censoring and trying to manipulate you, trying to trick you. 100% all the time. There's no excuse. There's never a reason why you shouldn't be able to sit and have a discussion about something. If you are right, if you have legitimate claims and facts, you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
100% agree. You know, I interviewed on my my new show, Making Sense of the Madness, that I'm doing 5 days a week. I interviewed Billboard Chris, the gentleman from Canada that was yoked up by that transgender person screaming F you, F you, F you, and then grabbed him by the neck. Remember that? Do you remember that? You've not seen that? Well, yeah.
I don't know if
let's
cover that.
I think, yeah, let's see if you've seen it. It was all over the place. Chris assaulted. But he's the one that got in trouble. Like, they didn't arrest anybody. He's the bad guy, okay? And all he was doing...
The victim is to blame.
So this is an Instagram shot of it. I don't have the gram, everybody. But we'll watch it here. There's my buddy, Dan Dix.
I mean, it's clearly aggressive, violent assault.
You suck. You suck. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're not wanted. Fuck you. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking
I don't know what to say. I guess these police officers are mostly indoctrinated as well. They're afraid of the mob. I think they're afraid that if they do anything to actually keep law and order, that they'll end up being on the end of this verbal abuse. So it's just cowardice from everybody all around.
Fuck you! A lot of people probably want to know, how do you keep your composure?
Fuck you!
What's that?
How do you keep your composure?
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Nothing.
Fuck you! 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 Hey! Get your fucking ass up here!
Now, it's pretty clear what happened there. No one got arrested.
He was assaulted.
No one got arrested. The police officer literally...
Press charges. I hope he can file a civil suit.
He's trying. I mean, that happened a month plus ago. But again, he talks about... Basically, he's got 2 daughters. He started doing this when they were about 8 and 10. I think he's been doing it for
I'd file a suit from that. I'd file a suit against the police force, too.
It's crazy, right? And he goes there, totally nonviolent. And bro, I interviewed for him for an hour.
He's peaceful, calm. Like he did nothing wrong at all. 100% within his rights.
And he says, look,
I don't know anything about him or what he's saying. I don't know if I agree.
He's
with
against the
anything he
transgender
says.
cult. He's basically
He
saying
didn't do anything wrong.
No,
He's assaulted. That's assault.
He basically says, he talks about we shouldn't be doing this to children, and that this is child abuse, period. And that's what's happening to him. And the guy, like you said, we need to be able to talk to people. That's what he's there for. He's peaceful. He's got a sign. He says, look, yeah, he has had his arm broken by Antifa. He got beat with a cone where it actually fractured his arm from him defending himself. That's far from the only time he's been assaulted. But he says, it's worth it because I end up talking to people and they don't even know why they're angry. They don't know what they're arguing. A lot of these people think that they're actually helping. They think they're actually helping these kids. And then you show them the stats and you say, hey.
Because that's part of the reason why they shut down conversation. That's why they don't want to debate. That's why they don't want people ever talking about these things. Because most of these people are locked out. They have no idea what's really going on because all they're hearing is mainstream news media coverage. And it's all, oh, look at these bigots. They're bad. We just want everybody to love each other and be happy. So that sounds good. That sounds nice. So they want to go along with it. But they're not hearing the whole story. And that's why they don't want you to talk about it. That's why everybody has to be hush-hush about it and things done behind closed doors in secret. Like, if something is right and okay, it shouldn't have to be a secret. It shouldn't have to be hidden behind something.
Adults don't have secrets with children. They're never good, period. You know what I mean? Even if you're like in a broken relationship, right? Mom and dad, you always go, hey, don't tell mom that you had the extra Snickers, huh? That you didn't do something good there. Like, even on that level. So if it's someone who's not the fucking parent saying,
trying to have a secret with your kid? Mm-mm.
No way.
No.
Big old no.
You're getting your skull cracked.
Brother, I got, it's funny. I'm bringing this up now because this is actually a new story. It's not out there, but it'll go into what I covered and the conversation I had with my brother a couple days ago. Hunter Biden, I'm sure everybody's shocked here, was a member of elite LA sex club Sanctum, but was kicked out for being a scumbag, says the founder. Think about what kind of person you need to be.
What kind of disgusting human being do you have to be to get kicked out of an LA sex club? Like, the normal LA people are pretty gross, right? You're in a super secret, extra gross sex club, and you got kicked out.
Yes, and dude,
and the deal that this guy is getting. Like, there's like videos of him with underage girls. He's doing illegal drugs that are minimum like 10 years. He's lied about shit to get a gun. He should be doing like 20 years. Easy.
Well, that doesn't even talk about the illegal business dealings and the money laundering and the stuff that gets into his uncle and his father, the big guy.
It's not even like the treasonous stuff.
No, it's just the baseline stuff everybody knows about. And now let's talk about it. So my brother brought this up to me, and it was brilliant. I might have to find the thumbnail because if you think about it, he talks to me, and he goes, dude, you remember the Rourke family in Sid City? And I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. And he's like, dude, I wouldn't doubt that Frank Miller absolutely 100% knew the Biden family. Think about it. You got the senator. You got the pervert son. I even played like the clip where he's in the hospital with him, threatening to kill him. But he's like, everybody would lie for me. The bigger you lie, that's where you get your power. He's like, nah, but you know what? We're going to fix you up nice. I'm going to put my own money in it. And then you're going to go to prison for raping the girl. We're going to disgrace your name, and you're just going to have the worst life ever. And dude, if you think about it, they are the Rourkes. Like, the Rourke family are the Bidens. He even talks about how his son was going to be the first Rourke to be president. And what did Joe Biden always say? Who was it? It wasn't Hunter. It was Beau that was supposed to be the first president. Remember the son that died of the brain cancer? He cried a couple times talking about that. So, I
probably didn't have brain cancer. He probably killed himself from being molested.
Oh, jeez. Fitch, you're on a
You know,
roll
brain
today.
cancer kind of looks like a bullet hole wound.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. When we talk about brain damage, I think we got to talk about Jamie Foxx, right? Like, people are acting like it's
He disappeared for a long time, right?
he's done, man. He's done, dude. Listen. So, like, a week ago, they put out a story how he didn't show up to the premiere of his new movie, right? No shit. No one's heard from him. Then Cameron Diaz got interviewed 2 days ago. She's like, I haven't seen him since the incident. She has no idea about his health concerns. Remember, the daughter said he was out playing pickleball. AJ Benza has been on the case. AJ Benza is the old school Hollywood true story guy. Remember those Hollywood true stories? Mm-hmm. And they were hosted by AJ Benza. He'd come out in his little suit. Well, now he doesn't have as much hair anymore, and he's not wearing a suit. But he used to be on Stern all the time. Dr. Drew's been having him on. And he says that he's paralyzed and blind. Okay, he's laid up. I'm not sure whether he's in a coma or not, but basically he is paralyzed and blind, and he may also be mute right now. Like, he could be a total veggie. And we all, I can't say it here, but we all know why. That's the post-truth world we live in. We can't even confront that. And then you got Connor on tape dragging a woman into the bathroom. We covered it last week. And by the way, the only discrepancy in her story that I can see is that the security guard took her in instead of Connor, right? And she said that he had come out of the thing. But if you watch it again, we've got like 30 seconds of video, and we got some video after the fact. He grabs her, drags her into the bathroom, and then security surrounds. Have you seen the video?
Briefly, not really. We could watch it again.
Let's see if we can bring it up right now so we can break it down without getting in trouble.
Now, on top of that, he failed to meet his USADA deadline.
Of course, dude.
Right. So I don't. Do you think that was an accident, or do you think that's on purpose because they're trying to push the fight back, possibly to let this blow over?
I don't think there's going to be a fight. I don't think there was really going to be a fight before. Dude, he's not in fight shape, number one. You know, I think this was a big ploy.
He looks fat.
Dude, again, I think this is a ploy to sell. It's the biggest season of The Ultimate Fighter for the first time in like 5 or 10 years again. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. It's a big, I was on The Ultimate Fighter. So Fitch, let's see if we can find it. Let's see if I can bring that up first. I want to find the Connor thing first. Here it is. There's the Connor thing. We're gonna put that up there. So anyway, I'm watching it. I'm watching The Ultimate Fighter because actually I knew a couple of the fighters that were in there. Austin Hubbard, in particular. He's an ex-UFC. It's vets versus prospects, right? So let's see. Where is it? Is it right there? Man, I'm gonna have to bring it from my. You can't really hear it, but whatever. Anyway, it's vets versus prospects. I'm watching it, and the third episode, they get to Hubbard, and I called his last fight before he re-signed for the show. So big right from Hubbard lands, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, what are the chances that my debut on The Ultimate Fighter is during the Conor McGregor season?
Conor McGregor.
All right, hold on. Here we go. We don't want. I'm going to do it so we don't get a copyright strike. We're going to just kind of boom through it. So there he is. There's McGregor. Okay, you notice the bathroom is behind him. Now there he walks up to the alleged victim. He grabs her. That's him. She's behind him. He's got her by the arm. They then go into the bathroom, the men's bathroom. You can see it. It's the men's bathroom. And they're immediately followed by all of these security guards. Yeah, there they go into the bathroom. And then they surround the situation. And this guy is another security guard right here and standing in the way. So, again, there's no doubt, and then we have no idea how long they're in there, that he went over, watch it again, grabs her, brings her into the bathroom, and then security blocks everybody off. So, and then the text messages said that she knew one of the security guard. She talked to him, and she said, I didn't know he was going to try to fuck me. And he goes, what did you think was going to happen, LOL? She goes, I thought we were going to the bathroom. That shit was crazy. Then her lawyer, John, says she did go to the Miami police. Okay, she absolutely 100% went and tried to file a police report. They would not let her. They told her she needed to go get a lawyer. So everybody thinks that this is a money grab. You can't make it up.
Is anybody have some legal understanding in Miami? Is that a thing? Has that ever happened to anybody ever before?
Let's
Seriously,
see.
is that like a normal thing? If you go to the police and be like, "Hey, I was assaulted, or I was raped, or I had a crime committed against me," well, you need to get a lawyer first and then come back.
Let's play the clip because a lot of people are going to say that I'm making this up.
What is happening to this country? Banana Republic everywhere, man.
Yep.
McGregor is accused of raping a woman at a Miami Heat game in Miami. Local 10 has...
There it is right there. Yo, I didn't know.
LOL.
That was crazy. I pushed him off me. And again, I mean, I wasn't going to F any man in the bathroom. But let's just play the clip. Let's see what the lawyer says.
Explosive messages from the alleged victim. The alleged assault took place inside the Kaseya Center during Game 4 of the NBA Finals.
The victim messaging the security guard assigned to McGregor after the alleged assault. Local 10's Rosh Lowe is live with the story you saw exclusively first on Local 10. Rosh.
Yeah, things are heating up in this case, and today we spoke with the attorney for the alleged victim, and she gave us these messages, which are actually on Instagram. She says they are very significant because they show, she says, that the woman in this case was traumatized. This is video of Conor McGregor at the Kaseya Center during the NBA Finals. The timestamp is 11:54. Minutes later, a woman claims that the grappler sexually assaulted her in the men's bathroom.
Grappler? He's
12
not a grappler.
hours after the
I take offense to that.
John, you should take offense to that. I'm with you.
The woman messages a security guard who she knows. He was standing guard outside of the bathroom at the time of the alleged incident. The messages read with the security guard saying, "What's up?" The woman says, "Yo, I didn't know he was trying to expletive me in bathroom. Expletive was crazy. I pushed him off me. He pulled my pants down." "I do not know, LOL," says a security guard. Ariel Mitchell represents the woman in question.
What if people say you're changing your story, this is a shakedown, this is just about money?
Well, I would say that would be true if my client didn't go to the police first. My client went to the police Sunday.
McGregor's camp with this statement. After not responding to the demand for money made by claimant's counsel, she turned to the media to apply pressure. This is no more than a shakedown. As for the attorney representing the woman, this is what she says Miami police told her client.
She should seriously consider hiring an attorney to either A, resolve this before a police report is necessary, or to help her navigate once she did file a police report. My client was, as you could imagine, very afraid and frightened.
Is this a normal procedure? Seriously.
Listen.
Like, is this something they're going to sue? This can't be legal.
Well, again, watch. The reporter at least follows up and goes, "That doesn't sound right."
Afraid and frightened.
Here. That sounds very strange, that police.
You're telling me, and I told the police this myself when we went and filed the police report on Wednesday.
So they did file the police report. She went there to file a police report, but hey,
they tried to chase her away. Basically, they tried to scare her off from filing a report.
Yep.
They try to make it seem harder than necessary for them to help her.
And now, for everybody's pleasure, Jason Bermas on Tough.
Joining us from Denver, Colorado, he's your former Caged Aggression lightweight champion, Austin Hubbard.
I'm currently 15 wins and 6 losses.
Oh, big right hand from Hubbard lands.
There it is, big right hand from Hubbard lands. We did it. We made it, everybody. I got such a kick out of that. I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it. We hope Austin Hubbard wins the show, man. He's had some rough stuff going on. But here, Bisbing, what are you doing, bro? Oh wait, that's a different story. So Bisbing is out shilling for McGregor. Absolute goddamn nonsense. What are you? Listen, let's say all this stuff is
He's
not
the company man. Who knows what the UFC did for him? What crime or piece of crap thing he did that they covered up for him? I am heavily invested in the idea that most of these guys that get these sweet cake jobs and deals from the UFC are there because they got taken care of in some way, and they owe the UFC, and they have to toe the line for them because they helped them pass a steroid failed test, or they had a rape accusation themselves, or they had some other freaking crime that they committed and the UFC needed to cover up.
I'll say this. On the day the accusations came out, Cormier did a podcast with Askren, and I was pretty early on in the tweet storm for it. So I was like, well, did you talk about McGregor being a violent rapist? And listen, to Funky Ben Askren's credit, he did DM me afterwards and say, so funny enough, we actually talked about McGregor punching the mascot at the game, and they took it out because he got accused of rape.
So they're trying to cover that up too. Like, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with the world? What is happening?
By the way, that's an exclusive. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. And I don't even know if I should have said that because it was a private conversation with Ben. But think about that, guys. We're the underground show. We're the mixed martial mindset. But on the big shows with Dan Cormier, if you just talk about the punchy punch.
I know that. Man, Cormier got reprimanded by Disney because he posted a meme that had oh God, why am I forgetting his name? Lethal Weapon.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. It was a Mel Gibson meme, and he posted that, and he got a call from somebody high up at Disney and got reprimanded and yelled at.
Well, interesting you bring up Mel Gibson because again, with the new Making Sense of the Madness show,
I don't know, man.
Dude, we're
high dollar slaves are still slaves.
So because you talked about Mel, okay, I want people to check this out. This is out there. Everybody can go check it out. It is for free. It's across the board. I'm going to show you where you can find it here on my Twitter, right here. Full episode. Sound of Freedom. The gentleman here, Matt Osborne, and quote-unquote the Batman. So the story here is that Matt Osborne is actually one of the guys behind ourrescue.org and Angel Films. They're the ones not only putting out the Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel that's made a lot of media waves talking about the adrenochrome lately, but if you saw the redacted clip that went viral where I believe it's Tim Ballard, I said Mike earlier today, everybody was all over me. Tim Ballard said there was going to be a 4-part documentary series coming out exposing a bunch of truths, and Mel Gibson is the one that produced that film. So that's actually going to be coming out through this organization. This conversation is big time, guys. The Batman is somebody who actually worked for the cartels up through 2005, laundering money for them. Yes, I ask how one launders money for the cartels because I was extremely curious. He ended up, John, at an orphanage. And the orphanage he ended up at, as you know, he just had a job that they sent him to do, was actually the orphanage for the children of the prostitutes in the red light district. And he's like, in the area of the red light district, there's, between 800 and 1,000 of these prostitutes there. He goes, so you can only imagine how large this orphanage is and how many kids I came across. And he goes, basically, he goes, the boys wouldn't talk as much, but the girls would tell you some of the things that had happened to them. And he goes, I had my come to God moment right there, what I was doing and what was wrong with it. And I had already... See, these guys are all shady too, man. Like that guy, Matt Osborne, who's doing it, I wouldn't say he's shady, but he's ex-CIA, right? These are ex-Intel guys. And the Batman, if you will, also had dealings with DEA, ATF, CIA. And, his claim to fame within that organization, which has been around a little over a decade now, I think 2013, is that they've rescued 5,000 children. And the way that they do it is they not only go into the countries, but they don't...
Wait a minute. Child trafficking is a right-wing extremist conspiracy, Mr. Bermas. Quit it with the Trump talking points.
I would say, people, please... Well, I spent an hour with these people. The second half, Batman comes in. Matt Osborne is the first person I talked to, but he also discusses essentially that they don't go in their vigilante style, okay? They actually do network through the federal governments of whatever nations that they're in. So they're deputized, essentially, when they go and do these raids. And listen, it was one of those conversations where I'm learning stuff. You know what I mean? And obviously this is a subject that I talk about a lot. So I hope that everybody goes over and checks it out. It's on my Rockfin. It's also on my Rumble. And live Monday through Friday. And by the way, the Billboard Chris thing will be available tomorrow on my pages. It's available today on AMP, the guy that got yoked up. Another great hour. He knew who Martine Rothblatt was. He damn well knew who Martine Rothblatt was. One of the first guys that I've talked to about transgenderism that knew all about her, or him, or it, or whatever, or them, or zeros, or ones, or unicorns, or all of it. We started with the Zuck. We got off on a tangent. I think that we should talk about it just a little bit because, like you said, Zuck's been choked out. He's in there. I've seen him hit the mitts.
His jiu-jitsu instructor is my jiu-jitsu instructor that I got my black belt from, Dave Camarillo.
Yeah.
He's also Dave Camarillo also worked a lot on John Wick 4, and he's in there in the background doing some stunt stuff.
I mean, yeah.
He gets killed several times. He changes outfits or whatever, and they reuse him.
I'm sure he does. Zuckerberg looks, first of all, he's smaller. He's 5'7", apparently. And Musk's the list is 6'1". I don't know. I think those plugs give him about an inch and a half. He might be wearing lifts. I wouldn't be surprised if he was more my size, not Fitch's, more like 5'10", And believe me, 5'10", 6'1", they're quite a bit of difference. So maybe he's a little bit bigger than Zuck. He's 51. Like, Zuck's only 39. But like I said, Fitch, like, unless you're a high-level elite athlete like yourself or a Yoel Romero and you've been training for a long time, there's a big dip there when you hit 50. I mean, unless maybe you're Vitor Belfort, but it doesn't look like Vitor ever stopped up the juice or training. They sent him in there to dust up. I mean, that
50,
Sousa
50 and never trained. Like, I don't know. It's all just smokes and mirrors and circus and bread.
Oh, let's see what other stories we got as we wind down. Thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Remember, Fitch also does John Fitch Knows Nothing and Learn to Fight. And you're doing the red pill thing too, right?
What's that again?
Fitch pill. You're doing the Fitch pill thing too, right?
Fitch Pilled is Thursdays. Yeah, I have a Fitch Pilled come out Thursday. A little bit of life advice for people, especially young men. It's kind of like my fail-safe. If anything happens to me before my sons become adults, they'll have this trove of tips and videos that they can just scroll through and be like, how would dad deal with this situation? How do I do with this? And it'll be there. Right?
That's brilliant, man. That's
so
actually
it's a little
brilliant.
bit of benefit. It's a little bit of benefit for you guys. Just, if nobody watches it, fine. At least my kids will be able to find it someday and be like, oh, okay, maybe this will help me with whatever.
I like that.
That's what I'm doing with that. And then we have the Learn to Fight videos, right? Where I'm breaking down fights that happen out in the wild, things that people did wrong, did right, what they should avoid. And then I'm also I'm doing 2 of those videos a week. So I'm trying to incorporate some of my garage sessions, some of the teachings I'm doing with some of my students here, and teaching lessons on fighting situations there. Not necessarily getting into deep technique, but just roughly explaining some different things and showing what I'm teaching in action, so people can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Because people don't really understand what I say when I'm like, grappling is far better, far superior for self-defense than striking is. They don't understand. They think I'm talking about double legs and putting them down on the ground or pulling guard and being on the ground. But
no.
Anytime you have contact with a person, that's grappling.
Yeah.
If I grab two on one arm control, that's a wrestling technique. That's grappling. Okay. I can do a lot with 2-on-1 and head snaps and arm bundles and self-defense that keeps me safe, keeps them from accessing weapons, keeps them from hitting me, keeps me from getting in too much trouble. Because if I hit somebody in self-defense and I'm in the wrong jurisdiction, the DA is going to come after me for being a bigot or whatever. If a homeless guy attacks me and my kids and I hit him and he's a different color, I'm going to prison for assault and I'm racist now.
Yep. Even if he's got an Amazon box.
So he's got an Amazon box and video of him stealing things, because being homeless isn't a crime. But if you hit somebody, it always escalates, the possible repercussions coming back to you. Because you could hit somebody and knock them out and kill them even.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at manslaughter charges and felonies.
That could be a wrap for sure. A couple other stories I want to hit. Vice Media is expected to be acquired out of bankruptcy for a mere $225 million, still way overpriced, by the way. by cohort of lenders led by Fortress Investment Group after rejecting higher bid from rival Go Digital. Seems weird, but we'll see where it goes. I think Vice is going to stick around.
Petty. Seems petty. They're like, no, we're not selling to our competitors. Screw those guys.
And now this story's out there. It's a crazy story. I saw Jones cover it today. It is making the rounds, but it's nuts. This is out of Boston. 4 kids aged between 5 and 10 taken into care after being found at a drag party with a dead trans woman's body on the floor and drug and sex toys scattered throughout the hoarder home. And there's an interview with this woman.
Who was else there? Was other parents there, or was it just kids in a trans?
Let's play it. Let's play the clip. Where? Oh, come on, man! Tell me the clip's not here. I watched the clip earlier today. They only have that there. Hold on. Let's find it. We need to find that clip. It's just unreal. You can't make this up. 4 kids, dead trans, Boston. All right, there's that. We want videos. That's 11 minutes and 10 seconds. That's not going to be the video we want. This is probably it right here, 2:43. TikTok. I hate TikTok.
4 children were allegedly found yelling for help. First responders were called to the building on Old Colony Avenue for a report of a man not breathing. Tonight, what they discovered has a city councilor demanding answers. Boston 25 News reporter Katie Brace is live in Southie tonight with the details. Katie?
The city councilor says what was found in an apartment in that building has been described to her as a house of horrors with children inside. She is calling for the Boston Housing Authority to answer questions about how this happened in publicly funded housing. First responders were called to the Mary Ellen McCormick Housing Authority for a person not breathing. That's not all they found when they entered a top-floor apartment.
A lot of drug paraphernalia and sex toys all around. And then one of the firefighters said that they heard a cry for help, that there were 4 children in the back room, and I'm hearing that the adults in the apartment were not wanting first responders to go back when they heard kids crying out for help. So that's very disturbing to me.
According to the police report, the call came in shortly after 11 Saturday morning. Boston Fire and EMS arrived first, followed by police. They found an adult dead. Boston 25 source provided the fire department report, and it matches up with another source's information.
And by the way, realize they're talking about a fire department report. Where's the police report?
No. Well, one thing though is my brother is a fireman. His son, fireman, just got sworn in like last month. Firemen are first responders, so like most of the things they're dealing with are not fire related.
I get that. My problem is after the fact. This happened on Saturday. This deserves not only a police report but a goddamn press conference. How is there not a press conference? This happened Saturday, everybody. They pulled a dead trans person and 4 kids cowering in the back.
So that's what I want to ask too. Is like it sounded like they said they put the kids in a back room and were hiding them, and there were other adults there.
Yes.
And they were trying to prevent the firemen from going back to the kids.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why? Where's the fault? We're gonna keep playing it. Where's the police?
So this is like some kind of weird pedo party, and somebody died. And nobody's getting charged with nothing.
I'd like to know.
According to the fire department report that I reviewed, firefighters found 6 adults who appeared to be males in the apartment with 4 kids in the back bedroom. One of the men tried to stop first responders from going into the room where they found the children, who are ages 5 to 10. The report says the adults were uncooperative and denied having children inside the apartment.
Still trying to piece it all together.
It is unclear the relationship
really?
between the
Is
4
it that
children
hard to
and the
piece together?
adults. The fire and
I can't
police
figure out what
department.
happened. I don't know why that would have been going on. It's such a mystery. It's a mystery. A bunch of dudes, a bunch of sexual deviant dudes with kids and drugs and dildos all over. I wonder what could have been going on.
And a dead body.
It's a mystery. I guess we'll never know.
Both filed reports with the Department of Children and Families. Police officers cited the conditions of the home. The Department of Children and Families, in a statement to Boston 25, says it has taken custody of the children who live in the home. Neighbors knew the apartment and that something happened over the weekend, but didn't want to talk about it. Of charges in this case, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office says in a statement to Boston 25, we're aware of the incident and the investigation and will appropriately prosecute any arrests that result. At this moment, no charges have been issued.
At the end of the day, my biggest concern is what were the
No
children exposed to
charges.
and were they hurt in any way?
Not even like child endangerment.
That's
Get
what's
outta
so
here.
bizarre
That's
about
gross.
this, bro.
This is so gross.
I know.
America's becoming disgusting. There's one more article, I think, one more event that I just read about this week that I think people should know about, and that's like the five teenagers who raped and murdered an Asian woman in a park.
Didn't see it.
In like Minneapolis.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I did see.
There's a Asian woman sitting by herself on a park, minding her own business. Like 4 or 5 teenage boys. They call them teenagers, but it was a certain ethnic demographic that you're not allowed to talk about. And they just raped her and beat her in broad daylight, beat her to death. The
Well,
kid,
here it
the
is
main
right
kid, the
here.
main ringleader, they're giving him 26 years. He'll probably be free by the time he's 30. Like, no, death. Every single one of them. Put them to death. There's no coming back from that.
It's I don't like. Well, I'd say life in prison. I hate the death penalty for a number of reasons.
I
but
don't.
yeah.
I think there's no reason why we should have to pay to keep a piece of shit criminal alive. Get rid of them.
I mean, again, it's just so hard for me.
It's not our job to sort them out. Like God to sort them out.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so
You're
many
a threat
innocent
to our
people.
society. You're a threat to our freedom. You're a threat to our wealth and our well-being. Goodbye.
Well, you know how I feel about criminals, and especially ones that hurt children. I don't know that I'd be crying myself to sleep. We have such a corrupt system that I really feel you'd be killing a lot more innocent people the more you normalize it. That's all. Fitch, stick with me after we break, because I do want to talk to you after the show really quickly. But before we do that, let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, go to jumpfish.net. Sign up for the newsletter. Got stuff going on every once in a while. I got sales and products on my Gumroad to make you more fit, more dangerous, sexier. I got a neck care guide that's pretty popular too, because everybody's got a bad neck these days. It seems like looking at their phone. My bad neck came from getting hit in the face and hitting double legs and getting choked and stuff. But the program works either way.
Tell you what, I've had some back issues this last couple weeks. I've been sleeping on my goddamn couch on the recliner just to try to straighten it back out. I hate getting older. Guys, get older
You
with
gotta
me.
do some decompression, maybe.
Okay.
You can put your depending on how high your bed is, you can lay off the edge of your bed, put your feet up on it, your calves up on it, or the edge of your couch, because it lifts your hips up a little bit, and it's enough to do a little decompression to your lower spine.
Well, that's what.
But if you have an issue with like a weak muscle or something, you may need to do something to build that up.
The muscle.
That could be what the problem is.
I think I slept a little too long. Haven't been sleeping in. Obviously, I'm up early in the morning, 5 days a week, and sometimes on the
Getting
weekends.
older, muscle atrophy kicks in too.
I know,
You
dude.
have to
That's
do
why
some
I'm out
core
walking
work.
with the dogs. I'm trying to get 3 miles a day in at least. I'm trying to do 1.5, 2 miles on each trip. Just start there, and then we're gonna start jogging. I gotta get rid of this belly. I looked at myself and even the walk and talk and the man boobs. It's all got to go. I've got to lose about 20, 25 pounds. It's awful. It's terrible. Guys, again, I'm live Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and then Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time with MSOM. Fitch, stick with me. Guys, I love you. We'll see you next week for Mixed Martial Mindset.
Take you laters.